In this 5th class, we are going to discuss Unit 11 and 12. You know, Unit, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Unit 11 is related to children with hearing impairment. And Unit 12 is about communication process. Okay. So, in the previous class, we have discussed visual impairment and mental retardation. What are the different symptoms and types of the disability of the learners, and what are the symptoms, how to earlier identify. Then we should take them guidance for their improvement. So, similarly, in case of hearing impairment children, we should know the importance of hearing. Let us start discussion with the importance of hearing. Why we give stress on hearing of the individual or children? Suppose one cannot hear. What problem he or she faces? Yes. What problem we face if we are unable to hear? कौन असुविधा हम आम शुणी पारिबानी कौन प्रॉब्लम हम आम किछ हबनी ना हबो किछि हैं यस
कम्युनिकेशन करि परिबे नै
यस कम्युनिकेशन
कोन विषय
वेरी गुड व्हाई कैन नॉट कम्युनिकेट काहे कि से कम्युनिकेट करि पारेनी
सुनि पार नथियो
cannot understand. When one cannot listen or hear, cannot understand and cannot perform himself or herself. So, the importance of hearing is very important for every individual. Our sense of hearing helps us to learn words using which we communicate with others. It is our sense to hear others and to communicate others. Yes or no? This sense helps us to hear others and to communicate others with others. So it is very important. Okay. And another important reason is we rely heavily on our hearing to signal to us changes in our environment and to warn us to approaching danger. जदि आम शुणी पारुने सपोज गोटे बाघटे आसुची पछरु जने केमती ताको वार्न करिवो कि गोटे गाड़ी आसुची ताको केमती वार्न करिवो सो इट इज डेंजरस फॉर लाइफ like blind children, blind individual, the hearing impaired children are also very facing sort of same sorts of difficulties, problem. It is almost impossible for us not to hearing something. And when we are not able to hear others, so automatically we cannot show the behavior them. In this context, hearing is very important for every individual. What are the structure and function of the ear? Can you say? How many parts are there of the ear? कानर केतुरा पार्ट अछि के कहि परिबो? Anybody?
3 parts, sir.
कौन कुहा? What are they? Outer, middle, and inner. Yes. Outer, middle, inner. So, external, what is the function of external ear? External means outer ear. आउटर इयर रो काम कौन जो शब्दटा तमे शुणुच जस्ट आई एम स्पीकिंग यू आर लिसनिंग आउटर इयर टेक्स दैट साउंड टू द इन इयर ड्रम पाखु नेकी जाए and it also protects the sensitive inner part of the ear from danger and other objects जो भितर जो अच्छी कान पूरा वेरी पतला पर्दाटा पूरा इनर पार्ट जोटा कि हम शुणिबारे साहाय्य करूची आउटर ईयर प्रोटेक्ट्स इट अदरवाइज वी बिकम हियरिंग impaired ear wax traps the foreign material and prevents the canal and eardrum from drying out तेणु से भितर जो अच्छी इयर ड्रम आउटर 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 इयर टा ताको प्रोटेक्ट करूची विभिन्न विपदरु एटा ड्राई करू याकु दउनी जदि आमे किछि काठी बाटी माइले कान खुंडे हला सेटा मध्ये से हेल्प करूची से ता पाखु पहुंचिया पई दउनी therefore our ear remains on protection. What is the middle ear? Function of middle ear? First external ear takes the or carries the sound to the eardrum. In the middle ear, eardrum vibrates when sound waves strike it. जेतले शब्दटा जाई कि पहुंचला सेठी मिडिल ईयर रे सेटा वाइब्रेट करिवो कंपन सृष्टि करिवो then inner ear vibration shapes creating waves in the fluid which stimulate that auditory nerve सेटा गोटे फ्लूइड जो इनर ईयर रे किछि फ्लूइड थाए एटा सुकिबोनी ड्राई हबोनी ड्राई हे गले तमर को काला हे जो सुबियोनी किछि जेते बेले साउंड टाइक सेठी पहुंचला से फ्लूइड टाको से तरंगायित करिवो पानी के तमे फुकिले कोन होउची माने पांडा तमे फुकिबो करिवो कोन होउची तरंग भले आउची ना नाही से फ्लूइड टा सेमती हलिबो हलिले सेही सेंसेशन तमर जो नर्व हियरिंग नर्व पाखु से नै जिवो then you can feel in your mind that someone is saying something and you can understand that then you can give your response so this is the functions of the outer ear middle ear and inner ear sounds carries the outer ear middle ear vibrates it and the vibration reach at the inner ear and the inner ear makes sensation of your ear organ then your mind can realize what another person is saying and you can listen तापर तमे सुनुछ तम ब्रेन सेटा फील करि पारुची के कोन कहूची तमे सुनुछ बुझुछ then accordingly you have to give your response सुनिला पर जने बुझिबो बुझिला पर रेस्पोंस दबो ओके या होची फंक्शन ऑफ थ्री पार्ट्स ऑफ ear like visual impairment MR degree of hearing loss is also there mild moderate, severe and profound. Anybody who can say what are the different types of hearing impairment? What are the types? Yes. कौन मु से दिन कहितली एबे कहिली सांग सांग पुनी कहि परन आदित्य पंडा आदित्य
Yes, sir.
अच्छा ये आदित्य ना आदित्य
Aditya, sir.
आदित्य पुओ तो
Yes, sir.
अच्छा ओके सो आदित्य पुओ different types of hearing impairment बेबी कांदु हो तमे अब म्यूट कर दियो म को जोड़ पछरची ओके आदित्य यू म्यूट योरसेल्फ ओके एनीबॉडी भानुप्रिया you tell what are the types of hearing impairment degree of hearing loss who can say again I am saying you repeat it mild moderate severe profound mild hearing impairment by hearing loss को माने जहार हियरिंग लॉस 20 to 40 dB लॉस हेइथिबो 20 ରୁ 40 डिस्टेंस ऑफ स्पीच होउची 20 ରୁ 40 dB मॉडरेट लॉस हला 40 to 60 सीवियर लॉस 20 to 80 dB प्रोफाउंड लॉस 80 to more that is profound loss माने माने किछि विदाउट हियरिंग एड सिवियर और प्रोफाउंड विदाउट हियरिंग सॉरी विदाउट साउंड लैंग्वेज no education is imparted no hearing aid can be used here but we can help the mild loss and moderate loss students providing hearing aid ta lagai dele tangu subibo in case of severe and profound loss sign language is only way how to teach them तीनटा जिनस तांगु दरकार लिप रीडिंग साइन लैंग्वेज फिंगर स्पेलिंग three things are important for them these are the three important techniques sign language finger spelling lip reading now tell what are the three important steps or techniques to teach these severe and profound loss students के कहि परिबो ए सिवियर प्रोफाउंड लॉस स्टूडेंट मानकु हमें को टेक्निक फॉलो करिबा पढिबा पाई
साइन लैंग्वेज फिंगर लैंग्वेज
फिंगर स्पेलिंग
आज्ञा
साइन
finger
लैंग्वेज लिप रीडिंग हमें लिप रे
आज्ञा
कहले
lip
भी
read
से आस्ते आस्ते अभ्यस्त हो जिवे हला तमे सब सांग
आज्ञा
साथी लिप रे कथा ताउ जरो नहीं लिप रीडिंग माँ कथा पुओ झियो जानि पारुछंती पुओ झियो कोन कहले माँ जानि पारुछंती लिप थ्रो लिप रीडिंग ओके सो what is the dB in case of profound loss पिलांकर केते dB लॉस होई थाए
80 dB.
80 dB sir
80 and above 80 to above severe loss
60 to 80 sir
40 to 50.
very good okay what are the different causes of hearing impairment जो hearing impairment हेची विभिन्न कारण ता भी अछि ना नहीं ना मन इच्छा hearing impaired हे जाए cause अछि as you all are the mothers or the would be mothers तेणु तुम्हें एटा भल रे मन रख एबो एटा अन्य मान को भी सहायता करिवो तुम संग साथी साई पड़िसा समस्त हेल्प करिवो दिस इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट व्हाट आर द रीजन ऑफ हियरिंग इम्पेयरमेंट काहे कि पिलाटी हियरिंग लॉस करे मैरिज बिटवीन क्लोज रिलेटिव्स वेरी इंपोर्टेंट रीजन दादा पुओ भाई बड़ा झियो भौणी माउसी पुओ मौसा पुओ भाई पीसी झियो क्लोज रिलेशनशिप दोज आर ब्लड रिलेशनशिप मौसी मौसा दादा बड़ापा दीज आर नोन एज क्लोज रिलेशनशिप ब्लड रिलेशनशिप जदि ब्लड रिलेशनशिप रे मैरिज हैला ताले पिला माने हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड होवार चांसेस बहुत अछि बी केयरफुल and don't allow to others advise and suggest हैं
एता गोटे रीजन अछि
हैं सुबिलानी मते
तार ये
बुझारिनी
तार ये रीजन गोटा अछि ओटा एमिति गोटा रीजन ब्लड रिलेशनशिप
हां very important reason research studies says marriage between close relatives blood group complications or RH incompatibility between the parents जदि parents कर blood group complications रहिला मैच कलानी complication ने मैच blood group मैच न कले मध्य पिला माने hearing impaired होवार संभावना बेसी अछि so in case of going to the astrologer before marriage blood group should be matched तापर गुरुत्व दवा दरकार blood group मैच होवा दरकार infections disease or illness contracted by the mother during pregnancy जदि प्रेग्नेंट समय रे मां इन्फेक्शन है बा कौन सी डिजीज बसवृत्ति है ताहले मध्य हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड होबार चांसेस अछि जेमति लाइक फीवर जर्मन मिजिल्स स्मॉल पॉक्स चिकन पॉक्स जो वायरल डिजीज आर देयर poor health of the expectant mother मार जदि अति दुर्बल शरीर बैलेंस न्यूट्रिशन नहीं खाद्य खाऊनी भारी रुग्ण शरीर ताले मध्य दैट इज अनदर रीजन excessive intake of alcohol or any other toxide by the pregnant woman यदि अल्कोहल बा any toxide नेला मदर ताहले मध्य पिला एमआर होवार संभावना अछि ए सरी मेंटली हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड होवार संभावना अछि हियरिंग लॉस हो आमे कहबा जे महिला माने मद पियंती नाही पियंती ना पियंती नी
पियंती सर
पियंती पियंती
खूब कम
मो ए बहुत कम कौन कोविड समय रे कोविड-19 समय लॉक थला मद दुकान नुआ नुआ करी खोलिला प्रथमे मु देखिछि लाइन रे पूरा टीवी रे देखिछि 100 झियो छिडा आइथबे आगे रे मद नवा पई कम कोन हम चारि पाखे कम हम चारि पाखे कम हम जानुचे इफ यू गो टू बॉम्बे दिल्ली कोलकाता चेन्नई so it is not come in your language okay so today in Bhubaneswar also one of my student once reported yes go
सर गाँ मानकर सिना नाहंती किंतु भुवनेश्वर टाउन मानकर बाहर मानकर तो ଏବେ ଅଧିକ हम देखुछे ना बाहर मानक जो
Yes.
माने जाउचंती
से गाँ रो झियो टाउन रे रहले सेठी बहुत मद पियंती स्मोकिंग करंती
आज्ञा सर
बीड़ी सिगारेट टाणती
आज्ञा
तेणु ए सब काम सब अच्छी सेगुड़ा दूरे रखा then exposure to x-ray during pregnancy pregnancy समय x-ray फेक्सरे मध्य करिवो नाही x-ray बहुत करंती टेस्ट करिया पई पुओ अछि झियो अछि विभिन्न प्रकार टेस्ट करंती दैट इज आल्सो वेरी क्रिटिकल सिचुएशन ये थिला बिफोर bath what are the different regions during birth premature delivery premature means before 280 days if the child is go for delivery yes it is 10 days 15 days it is all right before 1 month more than that also cause hearing loss of the child lack of oxygen to the infant during delivery at the time of delivery sufficient oxygen should be provided if there is no sufficient oxygen that is another reason लो बाथ वेट ऑफ ए चाइल्ड जदि जन्म रे पिलार वेट टा बहुत कम अछि लो बाथ वेट डिलीवरी यूजिंग इंस्ट्रूमेंट दैट कैन कॉज डैमेज टू द पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रेन रिस्पांसिबल फॉर हियरिंग अरे ब्रेन रे तो सब अछि ना ब्रेन रो को नर्व इज फंक्शनिंग फॉर हियरिंग व्हिच नर्व इज फंक्शनिंग फॉर विजुअलाइजिंग so if the nerve can be damaged during birth by an instrument which is used for hearing then child also become hearing loss after birth what we have to take care of after birth high fever or confusions immediately after birth जे देखिबो पिलाटा जन्म होला पर ता हाई फीवर होउची बा कोनस प्रकार इरिटेट बिहेवियर बा symptoms body रे आसुची immediately take care of it infection disease like TB viral fever measles brain fever हला whooping cough clear ए सब गुडा का आसले मध्य पिलार हियरिंग लॉस होबार संभावना बहुत अधिक another is intake of antibiotic for a long duration if you will take antibiotic for more than the days injury to the ear if the child fall down and certain injury happens to the ear of the child that is also cause the loss exposure to loud sounds सदा बेले ड्रम बाजिबो डीजे बाजिबो सेट रहिबो पिलाटा नै रखिबो तार इयर टा कोन वेरी सॉफ्ट एंड टेंडर साउंड जाकि मध्य से जो इनर पार्ट रे थिबा वाइब्रेट करू छे फटे दो नष्ट कर दो डैमेज कर दो don't exposure to the loud sound high blood pressure diabetes लोग आरंभ हो गला मध्य हियरिंग लॉस आरंभ हो high blood pressure okay neglect of infection of the ear such as neglected ear discharge माने सदा बेले तमर देखिबो बहुत पिलांकर कान रु पूज बाहर पिला बेले बापा कोन करंती नेग्लेक्ट करंती ह पूज बाहर ताको काउंटर रे पोछि दियंती immediately go to the doctor otherwise the students will become hearing loss another is aging age हे गले मध्ये hearing loss होई थाए होउछ ना नाही बयस 70 80 हे गला परे मध्ये hearing loss आरंभ होई थाए so these are the different factors before bath during bath and after bath how the child becomes hearing loss as a caretaker as a preschool teacher as a mother or as a father what is our duty is how to take care of the children having hearing impairment it is very important it is our responsibility therefore different tips are there don't hit the child on the ear केबे मन रखी था don't hit the child on the ear ए जगह को हम जदी बाडौचे this place if you will hit it then whether it will affect your inner ear or not is this person you see have you listened look to me
Yes, sir.
where I am talking this is very sensitive part which causes hearing loss be careful protect the child from sudden loud noise don't send the child where the loud noise is there protect the child from that sudden loud noise just crackers mana phata jo shabd crackers then any dj sound aeroplane sound machinery sound घ घ की जो शब्द होतिबो ट्यूबवेल खोला होची नलको जो खोला होची केडे बड साउंड होची गोटे बम फुटुची गोटे बाण फुटुची so this sound to these sounds the children should not be exposed don't clear ears with the pointed objects like hair pin pencil etc am ko korche kan kunde hela parti kar kemti korche no don't it do this sharpen instrument don't do it but it will enter in and the inner ear will be damaged so that you become hearing loss take care that the child doesn't put a small object inside the ear kanare so choto godi podi so pila purei dionti be careful don't clean ears with the water or oil tela pakai dionti सब कोन होई गले सब tela pakai dionti मा माने या पानी pakai dionti poko posiwala कोन हला don't do that bathing or swimming in a dirty water can cause ear infection जदि हमें मयला पानी रे गाधेले कोन हबो अति महिला अपरिष्कार पानी में गाधेले व्हाट हैपेंस ना किछ हबनी
सर इन्फेक्शन हो बॉडी इन्फेक्शन
यस एडा पसी की ए जो भुवनेश्वर के भुवनेश्वर के अच्छा
आज्ञा सर
तमरा कोन
सुचित्रामय
सुचित्रामय भुवनेश्वर कोठा तम घर
गान सर जॉब करूची
भुवनेश्वर कोठ जॉब करछ
आदित्य विला गारमेंट्स कंपनी
ओके
मंचेस्टर
से गोटा गंगवा नाळ अछि भुवनेश्वर गोटा गंगवा नाळ अछि भुवनेश्वर सिटी रो जेतक सब स्वरेज
अळे आवर्जना
सब स्वरेज अळिया आवर्जना सब लैट्रिन यूरिनल जेते महिला सब जाई कि से गंगवा नाळ देखि पडुची तमे से गंगवा नाळ पाखरे रहियो घर करी कोन अवस्था हो कि गंगा नाळ रे खस पइलो कि गाधेई पइलो जाई गला सला शेष एकाथरे शेष सब आउ कि गाधे हबर सो डैटी वाटर कटक देखि दिबो कटक जो ड्रेन गुडा जाईची नजर अछि ना नहीं not only Cuttack but also every cities think about Kolkata city think about Allahabad think about Delhi think about every metropolitan cities are there, NSCs are there, municipalities are there. The drainage system, they are going to the some sort of canal or any nearby river. So that water becomes dirt, polluted. That also cause the damage of the ear. So don't do that. Another is treat any swelling, pain and discharge from the ear immediately. যদি କାନରେ ସ୍ୱେଲିଂ ହେଇଛି ବା କାନ ଯନ୍ତ୍ରଣା ହେଉଛି ବା କାନରୁ ପୂଜନଶା ବହୁଛି, immediately go to the doctor and care for it. Don't delay it, don't neglect it. Breastfeed the infant with care. ପିଲାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ breastfeed କଲା ବେଳେ ମଧ୍ୟ be careful. Don't let her head tilt while sucking as the milk can go to the ear causing infection. ଯଦି ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଠିକ ପୋଜିସନରେ ନ ଧରିବା ତାହେଲେ ସେଇଟା ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇ ଯୋଉ ପାଟି ପଟେ ଖାଇକି ସେଇଟା ମଧ୍ୟ ତାର କଜ କରିବ ଇୟର ଆଡେ ପଳେଇ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ. That also cause damage of the ear. So these are the different tips for a caretaker and the mother as well as the parents, how to be careful for your child, not to protect them from hearing loss. It is very important for us. Okay. Another very important factor is identifying the hearing loss. Identifying the hearing loss means what? Sooner you have to identify, better care you can give in to your child. The sooner you can identify means from the symptoms you have to identify. Different symptoms are there. What are the different symptoms? That must have to understand and you have to know, for which we can be careful for protecting our child from hearing loss. The child has frequent cold and sore throats. देखिबो जो पिलार frequent थंडा होउथिबो, sore throat, throat टा सदा बेले कासुथिबो, इन्फेक्शन रहउथिबो. Careful, that treatment immediate करिबा. Why? 1 minute. Okay. The child has frequent cold and sore throats. Then fluid runs from the ears. କାନରୁ ସଦାବେଳେ ଲସାପୁଜ ବହୁଥିବ. So it is very important to take care of them. The child does not follow simple direction like come here, take this. At 1 or 1.5 years age, ବର୍ଷେ 1.5 ବର୍ଷର ପିଲାକୁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଏମିତି ଡାକିବା, ଆସ ଏଇଟା ନିଅ, ଚକୋଲେଟ ନିଅ, এই କଥା କହିଲେ ସେ କିଛି ଜାଣିପାରୁନଥିବ. তুমি জানিব যে হিয়ারিং প্রবলেম ইজ দেয়ার. The child understand your speech only after few repetition. যদি থরକୁ 4 থর କହିଲେ ସେ ବୁଝୁଥିବ, ଜାଣୁଥିବ. থরକରେ ସେ ଜାଣି ପାରୁନଥିବ. ଆମେ କିନ୍ତୁ সেটা কেয়ারলেস ভাবুছে, ପିଲା ছোট ପିଲା ବୋଲି. না 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 no, it may be affect the hearing loss. Then the child does not respond to being called from the other room. ଯଦି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ରୁମ ରେ ଆମେ ପିଲାକୁ ଡାକୁଛେ, ତାକୁ ଶୁଭୁ ନଥିବ, ସେ ରେସ୍ପଣ୍ଡ କରୁନଥିବ, ତମେ ଭାବିବ ସେ ଗାଲି ଅଛି. ନାହିଁ, ନ ଶୁଭୁଥିବାର ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ରହିଥାଇପାରେ. The child does not speak meaningfully even at 1.5 and 2 years of age. 1.5 ବର୍ଷ 2 ବର୍ଷରେ ପିଲା କଥା କହିପାରେନି, କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ଥାଇପାରେ. Just I heard an example when I was a college student. Due to language problem, the child also takes more time to speak. But just an example my teacher told, I heard that I am going to share before you. My lecturer had another one brother who was a military doctor, and his sister-in-law also मिलिटारी डॉक्टर स्वामी स्त्री दी जन जाक डिफेन्स रे डाक्तर था तेणु बाहर रहिले घरे जो कथा होती इंग्लिश रे होती हिंदी रे होती रेयर ओडिया को चाइल्ड first child no other members are there family except father mother no others are there so after 2 years the child could not speak 2.5 years the child could not speak they became very they faced the difficult situation both couple and go to the expert as the doctor so other doctors who are expert in that area they contacted them they first asked in which language you are talking either you are speaking talking at home a single language or different and only we are talking different language so hindi english odia is rare so different language we are talking so it is difficult the child confuses to receive the particular language to start speaking so they decided to speak in hindi because they are living outside hindi is most essential instead of odia so at home both couple only talked with the hindi within 2 months the child started speaking so this is not hearing impairment hearing loss but maybe hearing loss आम टेस्ट कर दवा दरकार सीजन टेस्ट कर देले जाइले ना ये असुविधा होची okay so it is very carefully you should decide it then the child does not respond to being called from the so I told you the child tunes the TV and radio abnormally loud sound देखिबो पिलाटे जदि टीवी देखुची रेडियो सुनुची बड़ा साउंड देखि से सुनुथिबो तो जेते पार्टी कले कहा कले भी से बड़ा साउंड टा करथिबो जानिबो हियरिंग प्रॉब्लम अछि मु भाबिथिली मो पुअर हियरिंग प्रॉब्लम थिबो बोली से फटकिनी टीवी पाखु चली जाए किंतु सेटा नुहे तार आई प्रॉब्लम जो से पाखु पळे जाए तार डिस्टेंस टा कम था मु डॉक्टर टेस्ट करली डिस्टेंस चश्मा यूज कर so sound is very important you have to notice it so number of care should be taken as a caretaker as the parent and mother to guide your child to develop his or her hearing power three things are important just I told you before few minutes you may note it lekhinyo lip reading sign language finger spelling lip reading sign language finger spelling lip reading just I am lip reading what you are understanding from me yes कि जान पारल
नो सर
कौन कहली गेस कर अरे जे उत्तर दउछ जे वीडियोटा ऑन करी उत्तर दउ ना जे आंसर दउछ वीडियोटा ऑन करके आंसर दबो ना yes
82 before 8
कौन बुझिला सुचित्रा
सर 82 माने 80 वर्ष रु अधिक जे तो से लिप रीडिंग
नहीं 80 वर्ष मु एना जो लिप रीड रे कहली मु कहली उत्तर दियो मु कहतिली उत्तर दियो सुन when we make it practice to our children automatically they become habitual because they can listen they have eyesight better eyesight when we speak something using our lips that is lip reading automatically they can conceive it जे गोटे हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड चाइल्ड थाए छोट बेले ता बापा मुसे कहबो के तार छेना पड़ खाए को इच्छा हो आमे बुझी परिबानी ता पेरेंट्स बुझियो से छेना पड़ खाए को so immediately they gave them that is छेना पड़ So number of automatically they will follow the different tricks, actions, gestures, postures. Another is sign language. Sign language, every letter, every action. Suppose I want to tell the red, the color red. This is red. Black. So the hearing impaired children know this is black. Sari is telling black. Daughter. Son. Nisu को टच कला माने जाइले साइन लैंग्वेज son कानु को टच कला माने जाइले साइन लैंग्वेज रे daughter. This is sign language. When touch kala mane they can understand. This is Sari is telling about daughter. This son. Okay. So the number of sign languages are there from action, gesture, and another is finger spelling. Finger spelling means A. These are the, I have forgotten, these are the simple. Using fingers, you can calculate A, B, C, D, E, F, G to up to Z. So letters, you can show the letters. So these are very important for a teacher and for a caretaker, for the parents also, if their children is hearing impairment. Providing the child with the hearing aids to improve the existing hearing capacity. What hearing capacity the child has, to improve it, we have to yearly detect and provide the hearing aid as per the DB. Giving the child training to develop speech, how to develop, how to speak. So contact with the speech therapists, the experts who can give training, better training. Child's language may not be developed to an extent to enable her in communicable. So in that case, what? Lip reading, sign language, finger spelling, all the techniques we have to follow. Then, very important factor is early identification. Then effect of hearing loss of another area of development. Pilara jodi hearing loss होउची तर आउ को डेवलपमेंट को से अफेक्ट करूची माने ठीक रे डेवलप करि परनी कोन से गुडा सब. One is stimulation and training. What is stimulation and training? Under this we may say strengthening the child's hearing and developing listening skill. तेणु से सोसाइटी रे मध्य ठीक रे सुनी परिबनी, रेस्पोंड करि परिबनी, सेटा मध्य तार प्रॉब्लम होउची. The power of hear, use of power of to hear is very complicated. Then another is the primary area where the hearing impaired child will lag behind other than the other students. जो पिला गुडा का पाठ रे प्रोग्रेस करि जाउछंती, जदि तार हियरिंग इम्पेयरमेंट रहिछि से पिला सहित समतुल्य होई कि से पाठ पढि पारुनी. That is another problem. साउंड सुनी पारुनी, के कोन इंस्ट्रक्शन देला बा सतर्क कला सेटे भी जानि पारुनी. So in this way, number of difficulties are there due to hearing loss. In other areas, the child suffers. So hearing aid is useful for all people with hearing disability. जो लोकर hearing disability अच्छी, hearing loss अच्छी, he or she can use hearing loss as per their disability. So that child to lots of languages, speak to her, encourage the children, complete sentence, speak with the complete sentence, then relate to the experience of the child. Always you have to relate with the experience of the child. What the child has the experience, that is very important. Then another is lip read, just I told you, lip reading, sign language and finger. Some principles for working with the children with the hearing loss. How we have to helpful them. One is helping the child understand your speech. Always as a caretaker, as a parents, as a teacher, we should be careful how the child can understand my language. What I am speaking, the child can understand it. Either action, gesture, posture, using sign language or any way. How the child is able to understand me, what I am saying, what I want to share the opinions, share the experience. That is very important. How? Repeat the word or sentence. Again and again you repeat. For the hearing loss students, repeat your word and sentence again and again. use objects, drawing, action, gesture, posture, everything. But our objective is to understand the child mind language. Then don't shout with your before your children. Don't shout. Hey, soon, empty nine. No, don't do that. It will affect them. Don't shout. Use your lip reading, lip movement. New words on the blackboard. Write new words and sentence on the blackboard or on the notebook of the students. Write on the notebook or blackboard. They can visualize it. They can see it. Keep in touch with the children's parents. It is very important. Parents are ignorant. It is our duty to make them aware, conscious how the children can taken care of, so that the parents should be time to time contacted. Second one is helping the child use her listening skill more effective. How? Child wear the hearing aid. We have to ensure it whether the child is wearing the hearing aid, not wearing the hearing aid. घर थोई देछि कि सबले पिंचुरा नाही ना खाली स्कूल आसिले पिंदुची. Everything is our duty. We have to ensure them. Then check the working condition of the aid. जो hearing aid पिला काम देइछे पिला जानि पारुनी बेले बेले से खराब हे जाइतो ता कान भी बेसी खराब हे जिवो. Check it. You have to check it whether it is functioning properly or not. Help the child to notice all the sounds around her. ता चारिपटे जेते सब साउंड आउछि से सुनु सुनी कि कहू. Encourage the child to respond the her name. ताको डाकले ता ना से respond करू. Familiarize her with the name of other her classmates or his classmates and other animals, trees, plants, etc. Familiar हवा दरकार. बिना गछर ना पशुर ना पक्षीर ना बा संग मानकर नाम relatives नाम. Encourage and reward when he or she makes an attempt to listen and say something. जेतेले सुनी कि कहि पकउची ताको रिवार्ड दउथियो, चॉकलेट दउथियो, गोटे पेन ते दउथियो, पेंसिल दउथियो. So encouragement pay. So develop the practice of hearing and speaking. Another very important technique is encourage the child to speak. Always you have to encourage. How you can encourage? Ask frequent questions. If you will ask frequent questions, so automatically the child listen. Question, they can listen the question, then automatically respond to the question. So it is very important. Yes or no? सदाबले प्रश्न पिला पचारुथिबो. प्रश्न माने कोन पिला लेवल रो पिला कहि परथिबा नल नै से सुनी कि न सुनला भला रोल करियो. जदि पाठ आसु नथिबो खाइछु कोन खाइलु भात खाइली भात साथरे कोन आ किछ खाइलु नी मामा कोन देले तरकारी देले मामा आज केमति साड़ी पिनथले ना छक छक पड़ितला नालिया नेलिया ई सब साड़ी पिनथले आ तू स्कूल आसलाले मामा थले ना बाबा आनी के स्कूल छाड़िले एई भलिया प्रश्न छोट पिला मानु पचारिबो related to your family. Then they can सेठ गवे हरे कहलो आंब गछरे पांचटा आंब फळिथिला जोडे मांकड़ नै गला आ केतना आंब रहिला ए कथा पचारिबो. अरे एभली प्रश्न पचारिबो. हेलो
नहीं सर
एमिति प्रश्न पचारले कोन असुविधा कोन असुविधा हबो हो कि जदि इफ यू
ए किछि भी कहबनी सर
किछि भी कहबनी
तमे जानि तमे यस तमे जानि परिबनी से सुनुची ना सुनुनी whether listening hearing or not hearing तमे भी जानि परिबनी. So always go to the level of the child, then ask the question so that automatically the child can listen, try to listen and try to respond to your question. Sei boli prashno tam pachari. Another is check the working condition of the aid. कहithili eta involves the child in all oral activities. jette school oral activity hoउची सबुथरे ताको पार्टिसिपेट करेबो. Provide words to her and him only when he or she does not seem to have them. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ସେ କହିଲା ବେଳେ ଥଙ୍ଗ ଥଙ୍ଗ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି ୱାର୍ଡ ସପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ ତମେ କରିଦବ ୱାର୍ଡ ସପ୍ଲିମେଣ୍ଟ କରି ଶୁଣିବାକୁ ସବୁ ସକ୍ଷମ ହେଲା ସେ କହିପାରିବ ରିମାଇଣ୍ଡ ହର ଅର ହିମ୍ ଦ ମିଷ୍ଟେକ୍ସ ଅଫ ଦି ସ୍ପିଚ ଆମର ଜଣେ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରଫେସର ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେ ବେଙ୍ଗଲୀ ଲୋକ ସେ ସବୁ କହିଲା ବେଳେ ଏ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ କହିଲା ଏମିତି କହିବ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ପରା କହିଲା ଏଇ କଥା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ସତର୍କ କରୁଛୁ ଏ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ନ କହିଲା କହିଲେ ସେ ନନ୍ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଯେହେତୁ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଜାଣନ୍ତିନି କହିଲା ଏ ସେ ଅଜୟ ସାର୍ କହିଲା ଏ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ କହିଲା ପରା ସଫେଇ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତେଣୁ ଏଠି ସତର୍କ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ଆମକୁ ଆମେ କ'ଣ ସତର୍କ କରିବା ସିଏ ସତର୍କ ନାହିଁ ସେ ନନ୍ ଓଡ଼ିଆ ସେ ଜାଣିନାହାନ୍ତି ତେଣୁ ଲ ଲା ଲି ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକ ୟୁଜ୍ ସେ ଜାଣିନାହାନ୍ତି ତେଣୁ ୱି ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ମେକ୍ ଦେମ୍ ଆୱାର ସିମିଲାରଲି every moment we should check the progress of our students and how they can improve. Another is helping the child and the classmate of the child to adjust to each other. बहुत समय पिला कौन करेंगे काला डाकिए ए काला यार आसिलु कड़े काला डाकी रे तो सतरे काला एमती जो लैंग्वेज यूज करते पिला माने इट इज वेरी गिव शॉक टू दोस चिल्ड्रेन पिला ए ना ताकू किछ कहने सेटा कालाटा सुनी पारनु ता कहले कोन लाभ अछि So you should advise your students, suggest your students, don't behave like that your friends because all are friends, cooperate to them, they are listening, they cannot listen, therefore you can help them. How they can listen, how they can know, show the action, use your gestures and postures so that their children can be taken care of. So next is classroom structure and seating arrangement. Under classroom structure and sitting arrangement, care should be given to seat the students in front of the class. से पिला मानू को पूरा फ्रंट लाइन ने बसेबो बैक लाइनिंग न बनी पूरा फ्रंट लाइन ने बसेबो आ कोन करिवो एबल टू वॉच द फेस ऑफ द एजुकेटर एभली व्यवस्था करिवो त मुहटा को से देखि परथबे फेस टू फेस आई कांटेक्ट आस्थिबो देयरफॉर टू योर एक्शन गेस्चर पोस्चर ऑब्जर्व एंड कैन अंडरस्टैंड The educator should not talk with her back of the class. Hearing impaired child ro पछाडु केतले कहबो नाही सदाल ता फ्रंट रे छिड़ाई कहबो then more attention should be given to those type of children focus on what the child can do कोन पिला करि पारे ता ऊपर बेसी फोकस दो कोन करि पारे नहीं neglect it then hearing aid gets damaged then remove it and write a note to the parents it is non functional meet in this so and so and take another one or tested the year again note dabo pilanga hath jo daily diary likhi dabo pila nei dabo mangu dekhebo so these are the different precautionary activities means some principles for working with children with hearing loss amko eta maniyak padi so this is all about hearing impairment and unit 11. Then another unit is 12. That is tell me how many units are in volume 1? How many units are in volume 1? Who can say?
11 units.
Very good, 11 units. How many units in volume 2?
12 to 16.
5 units. 11, 5, 12, total 16 units. Okay. This 12 unit is about concept of communication. Communication, I mean, what? Just I am speaking. You are listening and understand what I am speaking. Whether it is communication or not communication. Yes. Whether it is communication or not communication. I am speaking, you are hearing and understand it. Accordingly, we give the response. What is it? Eta kono? Yes.
Communication, sir.
हाँ सही कथा एत समय कौन लगुची now pujarini told I listen, I understand, then accordingly I will give response whether she right or wrong. So this is communication. So communication is a process on sharing ideas and information. Video time more off coach data surgery. So communication is a process of sharing ideas, information, attitude, value, or instruction with individuals or with groups, and it helps to facilitate progressive change in knowledge, attitude, and practices. Communication involves both going and receiving of information. Sorry, giving and receiving of information. Just I am giving information, that is communication. You receive the information, that is also communication. What are the purpose of communication? There are number of purposes. Out of that, those few purposes just I am speaking you. One is giving and receiving information. First purpose is giving and receiving information is the function of a communication. Daba nava. Information daba, information nava. Instructing and educating. It's the duty of the parents. They are give instruction and educate these children how to take care of them. It is the duty of the teachers how to educate them. Persuading others to change. Through communication, we can suggest others, advise others how to bring change in their behavior, their activities, their attitudes, their interest. Strengthening beliefs. What belief we have, that should be strengthening through communication. Improving human relationship and satisfying wants. Amar jete sabu ichha achi, we can satisfy our wants through communication. Manakar tomar ena ichha haba janakar rasola khaya pe kon karibo पाठ पढ़ा सरला जनक रसगोला खाइक इच्छा होला कौन करिवो साइ साइ से अरे कहू ना रसगोला कम्युनिकेशन कौन करिवो खाइबो कौन हाउ यू कैन गेट द रसगोला बाहर जे इमीडिएट टेलीफोन टा करिवो मिस्टर को फोन टा करिवो आछो रसगोला टी गाड़ी के आस्ता. So over telephone you communicate your wanting. Your want have to communicate with your mister or father or any relatives or friend. Therefore they can come with the rasgola. If you yourself will go to this sweet shop and you ask them, speak them, give me 2 pieces of rasgola or 10 pieces of rasgola. So that is communication. So you have to communicate everything with your wanting. So these are the different very cheap purposes of communication. Without communication, who lives? The beasts are living. The animals and birds are living without communication. The reptiles are living without communication. But the human being, we can live without communication. Even the hearing impaired child also communicate his feelings, thoughts, everything before us. Kuha. Puja kuha.
Communication करूँ. Reptile.
Communicate communication करती. करती. अरे animal, birds, reptiles. अरे सरीसृप साप तब कथा कहूच तते तू पळा नल तते कामड़ देबी कहूची हैं पूजा हां बेंगा कहूची उठी जा नले दे डेई पड़ी ऊपर को. So they cannot communicate. Only human being can communicate. If they are hearing impairment, even though they can communicate their feelings through action, gesture, etc. So what does communication influence us? Communication is a process by which we convey our feelings, thoughts, ideas using either verbal or non-verbal symbols to others. Just we talked and discussed, that is the meaning of or definition of communication. Communication is the only process. Through this process, one communicate his thoughts or her thoughts, feelings, ideas to other, either verbally or non-verbally. जदि तार पाटी खोली के साउंड करी कहूची दैट इज वर्बल, जदि एक्शन गेस्चर रे कहूची दैट इज नॉन वर्बल. दिस इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट. तो सब विभिन्न फेसबुक रे यूट्यूब रे वीडियो देखुथिबो, से वीडियो देखि जण जणे पळे आस्थिबे एगरली कोन गोटे कहूची बोली कि देखला से अनदर एक्शन शो करथिबे. तुमे बुझिथिबो गोटे कि तांकर फीलिंग्स थिबो गोटे. दैट इज द gap of communication. Just mu kahuchi, you listen. What I am holding, what is this? अरे एटा कोन?
फोन, मोबाइल.
मु एथुर कोन बुझिलो?
नॉन वर्बली एक्शन करी कहउछथि.
मु कोन कहूची तुमको एमती जण को डाकीबी, फिजिकली एमती डाकीबी
ए रहो
फोन से
ना. मु कहूची से बुझिबो जे सर डाकुचंती मते फोन टा दबा पाई, डाकीबी ने फोन टा हाथ रे डाकीबी, से कोन बुझिबो फोन टा दबा पाई. से खुश रे
मोबाइल टा नबा
फोन टा नबा पाई मु ता फोन टा देबी आ टंका 100 बढ़ाई की देबी. ठीक नेबो से दुकान रे सजाड़ी की नै आसी काम करनी. ताले व्हाट ही परसीव द मीनिंग, नाउ द मीनिंग इज डिफरेंट. यस और नो? अरे से मु प्रथमे मोर नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन रे जहा बुझिथिला एबे सेया हला कि वास्तव रे मीनिंग सेया की
ना ना सर.
This is communication. This is known as communication gap. In non-verbal communication, certain communication gap is there. So we should be mastery over it while we are handling our children as a trainer. So communication is just a process to communicate your ideas and information, give information. Under communication, one is a sender, another is a receiver. Just I am asking, I am saying, I am the sender. You are listening me, so you are the what? अरे मु सेंडर तुम मैंने कौन है ना?
रिसीवर.
Yes, तुम हेटी जो कहिलो तुम सेंडर हेलो, मु रिसीव कली.
I guess.
So sender to receiver. This is a channel. ये जो मु कहली तमे सुनिलो ये जो प्रोसेस टा, दिस इज द चैनल. सो सेंडर goes the message through channel to the receiver. So this is a process. Now tell, what are the different elements of communication? Can you say what are the different elements of communication? कौन सब एलिमेंट अछि कम्युनिकेशन रो? फर्स्ट एलिमेंट इज सेंडर. प्रथम एलिमेंट होची सेंडर. व्हाट द सेंडर डज? सेंडर, व्हाट द सेंडर डज? सेंडर कौन करे?
ने सर कम्युनिकेट जे करे जे माने किछि कुहे.
Yes, sender communicates. Sender sends or communicates the message or the information, and that must be effective. जो मैसेज टी पठाए that must be effective. अर्थ मु तुमको जहा कहूची तमे ठीक रे बुझी पारले सेटा इफेक्टिव हबो, otherwise it will be ineffective. What I am speaking, if you understand it, then it becomes effective. If you cannot understand, that it could not become effective. It is ineffective. So senders sending message should be effective. How it can become effective? Now, by developing ability to think clearly. By developing ability to think clearly. Organize your thoughts properly. तुम्हें जहाँ भावुच proper way रे तुमे ताको present करियो before the audience, means the receivers आगे express or transmit your thoughts, ideas, everything effectively through an appropriate channel. Through an appropriate channel. अच्छा मो सहित टे कथा हलो एबे जे जॉइन कलो एबे जॉइन कलो जे टिके मो सहित मो कथा सुनी पारुछ now you joined, what is your name? चिकिटी इटीआई रे तुमे पढुथलो की एबे जे जॉइन कलो चिकिटी इटीआई रे पढुथलो हेलो
Yes, sir.
हां
Aditya Panda, sir.
और तुमे आदित्य पंडा जॉइन करथलो पुनी आउ थरे इटीआई चिकिटी रे जॉइन कलो तो मु से जो तमे
No, sir, switch off ହେଇଗଲା ତ ଅନ୍ୟ ମୋବାଇଲ ରେ କଲି।
अच्छा अच्छा वेरी गुड मु से जाइन तो मु आसिला शो कला इटीआई चिकिटी डीएलईडी करथलो
ठीक
सेठी
ଅଛି।
डीएलईडी सेठी डीएलईडी करथलो
No, ନା
हैं
ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ ଅଛନ୍ତି ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ ଙ୍କ ମୋବାଇଲ ରେ।
अच्छा अच्छा से टीचर अछंती पढुथले सेठी
ସର୍ଭିସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସାର୍।
अच्छा अच्छा वेरी गुड ओके सो एबे प्रिंसिपल के सेठी इटीआई चिकिट रे हजबेंड को पचारला
ଅଭିରାମ ବିଶ୍ୱାଳ।
अभिराम विश्वास आउ
Yes,
अभिराम
sir.
विश्वाल को कहबो कहबो अजय सर खाली पाठ पढौथिले मु जॉइन करथि
ଠିକ ଅଛି
he
ସାର୍।
is my friend अभिराम विश्वाल इज माय फ्रेंड मु एठी
Okay.
असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर पूर्व थिली से भी ओएस2 मु भी ओएस2 थिली हला इज माय फ्रेंड हम
Yes,
गोटे
sir.
बैच रो ओएस ओके so you see sender is the first element of communication system. When sender sends the message to others, that must be effective. Second one is message. What the sender sends, the message, the information, that is message. That message should be clear, no ambiguity must be there. What the listener listen clearly can understand. If your message will be clear, automatically he or she can understand. Complete in all respects. What you say, that must be complete sentence. Another is stress on the understand of the child's. What you are saying, that must be presented in such a manner as a result the child can understand it effectively, clearly. That is very important. Third element is channel. It refers to the medium. Through which process I am sending the message. That is channel. Fourth one is receiver. Who receives the message? He is the receiver. Fifth is feedback. Under this, we can identify whether the receiver receives the message clearly or not. If not, what problem he or she faced? How we can solve that problem? That strategy we have to develop. Okay? After getting the feedback from the receiver, then we should be prepare ourselves to give support, to render support to the child, the receiver. So these are the different elements of communication process. As an ECC worker, you should think about the process of communication like why communicate? Why communicate means, suppose I am talking with you, I am speaking, I am giving certain example to you. First I think, why I give this example? whether the example is contextualized or not contextualized. तुमको जो कथा आम आलोचना करुचे ता संपर्कित उदाहरण ना ना ता संपर्क बाहर जदि संपर्कित कहीं मो कथाटी कह उदाहरण देवी मीन्स कम्युनिकेट द मेसेज व्हाई सेठी कौन थी ना फॉर डेवलपिंग योर क्लैरिटी योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. Similarly, another question raised in the mind of the sender, what? Who communicates? The speaker, the sender is the communicator. Here I am giving example means I am the communicator. Whom to communicate? You, the audience means the students, you learners, you are the receiver. What is communicate? Whether it is effective or not, whether it is appropriate or not, whether it is suitable or not, that is important thing. Where to communicate? This is there is an online platform. If face-to-face mode is there, certain college or school is there or training institute is there, where the place, it indicates the place. When to communicate, the time of communication, whether during classroom transaction or morning walk or any other time. How to communicate, the methods, the techniques, the process I follow to communicate, that is how to communicate. So as a ECC worker, we should think about all these, the need of the communication, the communicator, the receiver, the message, place, time and method and techniques for effective communication. ताहले जाइके हमर communication टा effective हे परिबो. We should be careful. Under why communicate, strength of the beliefs, entertainment, how to improve the relationship, how to satisfy the wants of every child, that is very important. पिला माने मनकर खेलिबा को भल पाउछंती, they are interested to play, सेठी कोन करा जीवो त पिला मानु खेलेबो, खेलर अरेंजमेंट करियो, से खेल माध्यम रे you have to send certain message, you become the communicator and through game they can listen something and understand it as a receiver, so it will be meaningful and effective. Then another is what to communicate, that must be communicated through discussion, through participation, through any display of objects and sharing of your views and opinions. You have to communicate. Then who communicates, you know? You are the communicator as a teacher or worker. But student to student, they are also communicator to each other. गोटे पिला किछि कहउछि भलो नाच टिए करूछि, भलो एक्शन टिए करूछि, अन्य पिला देखुछन्ती बुझछन्ती. Then at that time the child who talks, who actions, he is the communicator. Others who are the receivers. Whom to communicate? Each other. ए सांगटी जहा कहला अन्य माने सुनले जानले, अन्य जे जहा एक्शन कला others भी सुनले जानले. Communicate to each other. Where they communicate? Inside the classroom, in the school, when during instructional activities, school time. How to communicate? Different techniques like peer activities, peer learning, group activities. These are the techniques of communication. So in broad sense, how to communicate is three types. One is interpersonal communication, group communication, mass communication. मोइना जनक सहित व्यक्तिगत कथावार्ता हेबी आमे, that is interpersonal communication. Group communication, in a group, गोटे ग्रुप एक्टिविटी पिला देली, पिला काम कले, तांग दल रे आलोचना कले, that is group communication. Okay, that is group communication. Mass communication means what? it related to the TV news, then newspaper. Hello. हाँ नमस्कार गोटे क्लास चलची ऑनलाइन क्लास टे चलची मु क्लास रे अछि पर क्लास छइले कथा हबा हला ओके सो खबर कागज टीवी न्यूज रेडियो एगुड़ा सब कोथरे जीवो मास कम्युनिकेशन सो कम्युनिकेशन इज थ्री टाइप्स लाइक व्हाट interpersonal communication group communication and mass communication okay what are the barriers to effective communication as a communicator as a ECC worker we should know what are the different barriers what difficulties are there for making our communication more effective that must be give us knowledge how to eradicate the barriers and how to make our communication more effective it is very important in that context the first is problems of the sender what a sender ro kichi problem thai sender arth ki the speaker je kahuchi tar kon samasya thai one problem is related to physical appearance what do you mean by physical appearance what do you mean by physical appearance yes action नथिबो गेस्चर नथिबो क्लास रे एमदी बसिबो एमदी देखो पुनी क्लास अछि तो से दिन पुनी क्लास कर करे वीडियो टा ऑन करले डाटा गोटे धड़ धड़ सर जे मु एमदी बसिबो क्लास रे ले कोन करछ माने पूरा अलग नो एक्शन नो गेस्चर no smiling face nothing is there what the children understand
No, sir.
so that is physical appearance so your physical body language is very important physical appearance is very important for effective communication so body language ru pila 50% buji pokai it is very important speech your speech should be very clear prominent which can help the child to understand what you are speaking clarity must be there in your speech if you are not a slow voice re kohtibo you are the communicator so your voice should be loud clear prominent deep so that it will touch to the child and they can understand it very clearly your language means either spoken or written both language should be perfect should be clear error free your language should be error free suppose mu lekhuchi gote vakya blackboard re se jodi spelling error te kali ila communicate hai pariboni se bujibo mu lekhibi not ku not not ku tot lekhibi ila kon taku padibo tot se not boli buji pariboni so either spoken or written the language should be correct message what message I am sending that must be purposeful उद्देश्य भित्तिक होइथिबो purposeless हेबनी purposeless हे गले ineffective हे जिवो what channel means the what techniques and methods I follow as a communicator as a speaker that should be touched to the child the children should understand it should be helpful for the children to understand that is very important that is channel so these are the problems related to the sender means speaker means communicator who communicates another is the problems related to the receiver रो किछि समस्या अछि कोन से गुडा difference in perception मोइना छोटो उदाहरण दे दउछि प्रथम दिन जेते बेले मो क्लास रे जॉइन कलो हेलो बसे तो डे फ्रीली कथा हो प्रथम दिन जो दिन क्लास
Yes,
जॉइन
sir.
कलो ता पूर्व तमे से जो आरसी भुवनेश्वर इग्नो रीजनल सेंटर जो पठै थिला को सारे को दिन को क्लास नेबे सो ना गुडा पठै थिला से देखिथिलो ना देखि नथिलो
हाँ सर देखिथिले
सर
अच्छा देखला बेले से अर्पिता मैडम राय सिंह सर मु ଆଉ କଲ୍ୟାଣୀ ମ୍ୟାଡାम ଏ 4 ଜଣଙ୍କ ନାଁ ତମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ या तो
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
अच्छा सार संपर्क रे हाँ प्रति सार मान संपर्क रे तम मन रे गोटे निश्चित गोटे रेखा सृष्टि हेतिबो गोटे आइडिया सर्टन आइडिया आसीतिबो ना आसी नथिला
ଆଜ୍ଞା
कोन आइडिया आस्तला सुचिरा मई को कोन तमर आइडिया आसला
ଆମେ ଖାଲି ନା ଦେଖିଥିଲୁ ନା ଜାଣି ନଥିଲୁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କିଏ ତ
ହୁଁ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଙ୍କ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ହେଲା ପରେ ଜାଣିଲୁ ଏଇ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଏମିତି
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ
ପଢଉଛନ୍ତି ଏଇ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନ
से तो अलग आगला मु साडी जाइनी प्रथम तले ना जानिलो तमर प्रथम परसेप्शन हेतिबो गोटे एज विषय रे केते बयस रे हेतिबे
ଆଜ୍ଞା
हो ना नहीं
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
कोन भाबिथिलो केते बयस रे हेतिबे बोली भाबिथिलो एबे से
ଜାଣିନି
जेति की बयस सेही बयस रे भाबिथिलो ना ताठो अधिक भाबिथिलो ताठो कम बयस रे हेतिबे बोली भाबिथिलो हैं
ଅଧିକ
ତାଠୁ
ହେଇଥିବ
କମ୍ ସାର୍
किए कम भाबिथिबो कि अधिक भाबिथिबो दिस
ଆଜ୍ଞା
इज
ଆଜ୍ଞା
परसेप्शन मो विषय रे कोन भाबिथिलो ना कहबनी मु पचारची बोली हैं
ସାର୍
कोन
ବେଶୀ
भाबिथिलो
ଆସିଥିଲା କି ସେ ଏବେ ସାର୍ ହେଇଥିବେ କେମିତି ପଢେଇବେ କି କେମିତି ଏକାଥରେ ସାର୍ ସେମିତି ନୁହଁ
so okay listen so किए रागी हेतिबे किए चिड़चिड़ा हेतिबे किए हेल्पफुल हेतिबे किए जेते पचारले उत्तर दउथिबे एमती विभिन्न कथा हम मन रे आसे before experience an idea raised in our mind that is perception and that perception is different person to person this is different similarly when I am giving a message to you as a sender as a receiver you cannot receive it equally therefore सेम क्लास रे सेम कोर्स पढ़ाला सेम टीचर पढ़ेले किंतु रिजल्ट देखला बेलू जड़े 100 रु 90 रखला बेलू जड़े 100 रु 2 भी रखुची बिकॉज perception attitude everything is different from each other another is framing relevant and interesting message जेतेले जे सुनुची रिसीवर से ताको रिलेट करि परनी तार लाइफ सहित तार पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस सहित सो contextually cannot relate to the concept of the fact that is very difficult this is different from each other use of audio visual aid cannot help equally to each and every child मु गोटे ऑडियो विजुअल एड व्यवहार कली ताकू देखिकरी सेतरु किए 10% सिखुच तो किए 50% बुझुची किए 80% बुझुची so difference is there so these are the problems with the receiver organizational factor is another factor like a date venue time total duration of the program where the cultural activities are there how many items are there in the program who will coordinate the program these are the different factors if everything will be done properly automatically the communication will be effective जदि एथिरे प्लानिंग नथिबो communication टा ठीक इफेक्टिव हे परबोनी एटा होच another problem some suggestions for being an effective communicator केतु गुडे suggestion अछि how we can become effective communicator how the language we are using as the teacher and communicator should be familiar to the receiver এটা very important and be careful कारण तुम छोटिया छोटिया कुनी कुनी पिला डील करियो पिलार मदर टंग रे पिला को कम्युनिकेट करिवो आउ पिलार फैमिलियर लैंग्वेज सहित गुरुत्व दो केमिति suppose that we are speaking the words the child has not listened here before time the child cannot understand so it is not effective communication the child's home language will be used familiar language अर्थ कोन पिलार घर language व्यवहार करिवो पिला घरे जो कथबार्ता होची मनकर गोटे सांताल कम्युनिटी पिलाटी आसी ता घर तो सांताल लैंग्वेज रे कथबार्ता होतिबे ना तुमे ताऊ कहबो हम कटकी भाषा रे कहबो खोर्धा ओडिया रे कहबो से कोन बुझिबो संबलपुरी पिलाटी जार लैंग्वेज होची संबलपुरी रे लैंग्वेज ता कोन हु कैन से शुभुनी किछ शुभुनी बड़ पाटरे को कौन अरे संबलपुरी टा को स्टेट करिया को चाहूछंती सेपट पश्चिम ओडिशा लोक को राज्य कोशल को राज्य करिया चाहूछंती अच्छा छाड़ जदि पश्चिम ओडिशा को जीव ग्रोसरी दुकान को से माने कोन कहंती तांका लैंग्वेज रे ग्रोसरी दुकान से कहती किनारा दुकान किनारा दुकान किनारा दुकान किनारा ग्रोसरी शॉप किंतु आम एपटे कटक भुवनेश्वर ओडिया रे मसला दुकान इंग्राजी रे ग्रोसरी शॉप ग्रोसरी दुकान सब पिला भी जानिबो ग्रोसरी दुकान आम यदि से छोट पिलाटा को पश्चिम ओडिशा पिलाटे ताको आम कहबा ग्रोसरी दुकान से कोनटा बुझिबो so you should use home language किनारा दुकान तापरे choice of vocabulary is very important which vocabulary is important for the children that have to be selected and used speak loudly enough for everyone to hear class रे में कहूचे information दउचे our voice should be clear and straight speak at a moderate place your pronunciation should be very clear and audible सुनला भलिया हेतिबो share your communication before others listen to others without criticizing them and passing any comment केबे का कमेंट दबनी समस्त सुनिबो पेशेंस रे सहित धैर्य सहित पिला मन को नले पिला छोट छुआ भय कर जिवे आ कहबेनी लाज करिवे don't display your authoritative activities एटा कर एमती करिया कथा नो की पाठ पढुचु एमती नो एमती करिवनी नो play away like a granny you have to behave grandpapa mama you have to behave like that be sensitive to the reaction of the audience means the tender age children what they are reacting and be careful and patiently behave with that reaction. This is very important. So, these are the different suggestions to become an effective communicator. Dear learners, always try your best. How you can become effective communicator? Means, what you speak, what you communicate, what you send, what you talk, that must be understood by others. क्लियरली सेटा जने बुझी परिबा दरकार सेटा होची गुरुत्वपूर्ण यदि बुझी परला ताहले हमर कम्युनिकेशन ठीक अछि छोट छोट छुआ ए टेंडर एज रे पिला मानकु नै कि हमें पाठ पढौचे करूचे तेनु ए क्षेत्र रे हम कोन करबा हम निश्चित रूपे केयरफुल हो